Good afternoon, students. I'm sorry, not really coming on time, but I'll make it happen for you guys, okay? The most important thing is to get things right. You understand the topic? So we make it, my class always lively. It should be an interactive class. Anything you don't understand, what you ask questions, feel free to ask questions, okay? Yeah, for those of you that don't join us, I'd like to have new student. So my name is Ike. I'm a mathematician of the higher level. We are known. Our tutorial center here is well known. So for today, we are going to introduce a topic. This class is SS 2, right? That's grade 11. Yeah, because this topic you can still see it in YEC syllabus, also in IGCS syllabus, that's the British one. The topic is quadratic equation. Okay? Quadratic what? Equation. So you write when I ask you to stop, you stop. But try and pay attention first. So any equation of the form, first of all, I have to define the entity, the equation itself. We have so many equations. We have simultaneous equation, we have simple equations, we have quadratic equations. But we are here to deal with a real life problem related to what? Such an equation. Okay? So I have to define that equation before I go into this application. How to use it. So quadratic equation defined as any equation, right? Any equation, is a tutorial. So I guess most of you, it's not like the school where you use a normal board, write, then you copy. That's the style I want. But because of the digital board we're having here, I won't be able to do everything on the board. Okay? So any equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 is known as a quadratic equation. Any equation of the form, watch, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to what? 0. This, if you see anywhere you see this kind of equation, is what? It's called what? A quadratic equation. Why is it an equation? Because there's an what? Equality what? Sign. Okay? We have an equality what? Sign. We have equation, we have function, we have algebraic expression. All these things mean differently. They mean what? Different what? They're all different what? Entities, okay? So anywhere in the world you see this kind of equation, it's called what? Quadratic equation. Because the x here is of order what? 2. Order means the highest, that's the indices, the index of x what? 2. The power of x what? 2. That's power, or you call it power or order. It's power of what? 2. Ax squared plus bx equal to c. So now we have where a, let me define these entities. This a is what we call coefficient. It's called what? Coefficient of x squared. This a is called, a is coefficient of coefficient of x squared. Of what? X squared. That's a. Then b is the coefficient of what? X. And this c is a constant. Okay? So we're going to formulate real life problems. I have to model a real life problem. Some of these problems you see, they are what they pass through what modeling. That's what's called simulation and what modeling. So you model equation, a real life problem. Real life problem might be like something happening in this our classroom. I'll just formulate it to a mathematical what equation. Okay? So up by heart, I'm going to get a problem that I've already modeled to what? A mathematical what? Equation that is quadratic. A mathematical equation that is what? Quadratic. If you are not getting what I'm saying, you raise your hand up. Last question, please. Yeah? Feel free. So, for example, if I have this kind of equation, okay, for example, you have x minus 2 this. If you evaluate this, you have this. I'm coming minus 2x. Yeah, minus 2x and plus 4. So if we have x squared, this will be x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, so we go to 0. So now, so if you have this kind of equation, we have x squared, right? Minus 4x plus what? 4 equals what? 0. I've modeled a real life problem into an equation. A mathematical equation called what? Quadratic. So in this now, you can be able to solve this problem. You can be able to what? Solve this problem to get the values of what? X. So we have many, we have 4 types for now you can use to solve any mathematical problem related to what? Quadratic. Okay? Any quadratic or mathematical real life problem related to this equation called quadratic. We have 4 methods. Okay? We have one, right? Okay. We have one, the 4 methods. One, completing the square, right? Right? Completing the square. Completing the square is one of the methods. Well, I will explain all these things. Secondly, we have the general formula method. The general formula method is given as minus b plus or minus the square root of, I reckon, minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All over 2a. That's the general method. Some people call it almighty formula. Okay? So we have another method called the factorization method. Factorization method. Factorization method. In factorization method, you use a method called trial and error to provide solution to that. Use trial and error to provide solution to problem related to that if you are asked to use factorization method. Trial and error means, I won't come to that. We will come to that explain. Then the last one is graphical method. I hope last time I told you guys to come with your graph paper and all stuff. While I'm teaching, I must come with instructional materials. Instructional materials are important. These are things a good teacher should use in the class. Okay? The time is 45 minutes, normal class duration. Instructional material should come with that. So any of you with your math set or graph paper, any of you? You forgot? Okay, I'm sorry. But next time, try and get it, okay? Try and get it. So we have the 4 methods. Who can tell me the 4 methods? 1? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So we have these 4 methods, and at your level, you have done most of this. I trust my student. You have done this elsewhere, somewhere, in private, or other teachers or something. But my concentration, I want to go to a particular method in solving this very problem. That method is called completing the square. I can assure you, if you're very honest, students really don't find that easy to use completing the square to solve problem related to quadratic. True of us? Graphical methods, normally you plot your graph. You get values within the interval, right? You get x and what x values you plot, x and y axis. Okay, so you know when you plot your graph, where the curve cuts the line, the x axis, where the curve, for example, we have this kind of thing. This x, I'm talking about graphical method this time around. If you have this kind of thing, that's your graph. Where this curve cut this x-axis, because this x what? Axis. And this is what? Y-axis. Where did these two call this place? These 2 points are the roots of the what? Equation. That's the solution to the problem here and here. I said, when you are using graphical method to solve problem related to quadratic, where you have this curve, cut the x-axis. Those 2 points are got the roots of what? Equation. You okay with that? Then in factorization method, I say use what they call factorization method. Use what they call trial and what? Trial and what? Error. Error. Trial and error. Like when you are trying somebody in a court. Okay? Trial. So when you substitute, okay, for example, we have this here. Let's use factorization method. So for you to get the values of x, you start thinking of numbers, and when you substitute inside this equation, it will render to 0. You okay with that? Let's use 2. Let whether it work. 2 into this was 2 squared minus 4 into 2 plus 4. 2 squared is what? 2 times 2, that's 4, right? 4 minus what? 4 times 2. Anywhere you see x, you call it 2. You substitute x for what? 2. You don't want to make substitution. You are playing football. Those of you are in Manchester and this and that. Your best player he has injury. I know this guy has started smiling when I mentioned Manchester. Your best player had injury and they got another person inside. Replacement, that was not substitution. So anywhere you see x, you call it what? 2. So now be 4 times 2, which is what? 8 plus what? 4. So 4 minus 8 is what? Minus 4. Minus 4 plus 4 is equal to what? 0. So minus 4 plus 4 is equal to 0. So that means 2 is a solution to that. Are you aware? Do you get it? That is factorization method. Then you talk about almighty formula. That's the general formula. It's giving us yeah. So the what almighty formula is given, that's the general formula, is minus b plus or minus the square root of what? B squared minus 4ac all over what? All over 2a. That's the formula, okay? So if you are given remember x squared, right? Plus what? Minus what? 4x plus what? 4 equal to what? 0. So here our a is what? 1. A is 1. That's the coefficient of s squared is 1. Okay? Because if you relate this equation to a quadratic equation, quadratic equation formula. That's quadratic equation form. The form of a quadratic equation. You relate this. Relate it with ax squared minus plus bx plus c equal to 0. So if you relate this and this equation 0, this equation 1, if you relate the two, you see that a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 4, and c is equal to what? 4. Do you understand? A is equal to 1, b is equal to minus what? Minus 4, and c is equal to what? C is equal to 4. If you substitute inside this equation, it will not be minus b, which is minus into minus 4, which is 4, plus or minus the square root of minus 4 squared is what? 16, minus 4 times AC, 4 times A is what? 4 times 1 is 4, times C is what? 4. So it will not be 4 times 4 is what? 16. Okay, 16 minus 16 will be 0. 0 over 2 times 1, 0 over 2 is what? 0, A is 1, that's 2, A is 1, that's 2 times 1 is 2, 0 over 2 square root, 0 over 2 is the same thing as saying what? 0. Are you okay? So it will not be minus what? B is what? B is what? B is minus 4. Okay. 4 plus or minus the square root of what? 0. Are we correct?
Yes.
Are we correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There's something I want somebody to check if that's okay. Yeah. Okay, let's just evaluate this. Let's just evaluate it so that you understand what I mean. You have this in your notes. Okay, this is the formula. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over what? 2a. And the equation says what? What's the equation? The equation is what?
So x squared.
Is what? Sorry. What's the equation?
S squared.
S squared
Equals to 4.
No.
Minus
4x plus 4 equal to 0. Right? Okay. So when I say a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 4, and c is equal to 4. Right? So if you substitute that into this equation, so you now have minus what? B. Minus b is what? B is what? Minus 4. Minus into minus 4, right? Plus or minus. This square, yeah? Are we know that? Okay, we now have b squared, which is minus 4, or what? Squared minus what? 2 minus 4 into what? 4 into a is 1 times c is what? 4, right? So we have all over what? 2 times what? 1. A is 1. Yeah? Are we correct? So now we have minus times minus will be what? 4 plus or minus the square root of what? 4, that's 16. Minus 4 times minus 4 is what? 16. Minus 4 times 4 is what? 16 as well. So it will not be over 2. So it will not be 4 plus or minus. Sorry, yeah, my correct? Yeah, 4 plus or minus 16 minus 16, which is what? 0. All over 2. That's what we've got to write now, okay? So now we have 4 plus or minus, the square root of 0 is what? 0. All over 2. What this means is, the interpretation is, in mathematics, if you see this sign, it means which implies that. This is the sign of which implies that. It's not like when you are doing your chemistry, where you want to balance equation, okay? So the English, before you finish your, which implies that in English as a word, you know, I would have put this sign, any mathematician will understand what I mean. So which implies that 4 plus, it will be 4 plus 0 over what? 2, or 4 minus 0 over 2. So 4 plus 0 is 4, 4 over 2 is what? 2. And 4 minus 0 is what? 4 minus 0 is 4, because 0 is nothing. 4 minus nothing is 4. You get? You pushing praise is you. You understand? You are pushing the air or something. You are not seeing anybody, you are not pushing me. You are still yourself. Are you okay? So you now have 4 minus 0 is what? 4 over 2 is what? 2. So the answer is 2, 2. Means the value of x is what? It's not the same answer we got, the same solution we got while using quadratic and graphic method. It's the same. So our interest now, I'm not taking much of your time, is completing this way. I know why I will have to introduce this very topic. I have to go deep into that. Because a lot of people, students, have been facing challenges. When you give them problem to solve using completing the square, they will say, sir, I don't really have over the years I've been teaching, I've noticed that they are not too okay with that. So, but I'll make it happen for you guys. I'll stress my points, okay? To that. So let's go to that now. So how I hope you are copying. Okay. Should I erase it?
Yes.
Okay. So you now have the same problem using completing the square. The problem is s squared. Remember, minus 4x plus what? 4 equal to 0. So in completing the square, there's rules and regulations you need to follow. The rules you should what? Follow. Just like in the society, you follow rules. Yeah? If you disobey the rules, the nearest police station is available. So same in mathematics. You must follow what? rules and regulations for you to get a solution, preferred solution to problems. Okay. Now in this, using what do you call it? Completing the square. One of the rules you must obey. The first step. You must make S squared unity. Young lady, you're not smiling. You don't get it. Okay, you're getting it. Okay. S squared. You have to make S squared what? Unity. The coefficient of S squared what? Unity. So what I mean, the equation of S squared to be unity means 1. That means you have this, okay? The equation of S squared, who can tell me the coefficient of S squared? I said coefficient is that very number that's attached to what? The letter or alphabet in the equation. The number or the value or the figure that is multiplying the alphabet, either S squared or X, is called what? Coefficient. Here is the coefficient, that's 1. 4 is also the coefficient of what? X. Coefficient of X is what? Minus 4. Minus 4 is the coefficient of what? X. Meanwhile, the coefficient of X here is what? 1. Okay? The equation of X squared is 1, this equation of this is minus 4. So I've defined what a coefficient is. Would you be able to understand that? If someone elsewhere asks you that, would you be able to answer that? Okay, let's go back. So in the rule says step 1, make sure the coefficient of S squared is what? Unity. So it's already in that form. So it don't disturb. But supposing you have this kind of equation, 2x squared minus 4x plus 4 equal to 0. Supposing you have 2x squared, this is not the right equation we're using. I just want to emphasize on this. If you have this, what do you do? The rule said you must make coefficient of S squared unity. If it's carrying 2 as a coefficient, you divide by what? You divide by what? You divide all equation by what? 2. So when you divide these two go, it will not be what? S squared minus what? 2x plus what? 2 equal to what? 7. Do you get it? But in this our own form, the equation of S squared is already what? In unity. So naturally the equation obeys the rule. The equation naturally obeys what? So don't bother. So let's go to the next step. The second step said the equation of x. The equation of x should be divided by what? 2. And add it to what? Both. You divide the equation of, what's the equation of x? Minus 4, right? Yeah. You divide it by 2. And what do you have? Minus 2. You say that minus 2 you have, square it and add it to both sides. Are you okay? If you are not getting me, ask question. So you now have x squared. Dividing this, what do you have? Minus 4x. Okay, let me not confuse you guys. You have this plus 4. I want to take it over here. This minus 4 going to this equation will meet its own brother. It will now be minus x squared minus 4x is equal to what? Is equal to this x is equal to 0 minus 4. You know how I got it? This plus 4 crossing this equation become what? Minus 4. So this will become x squared minus 4x equal to minus 4. Okay? So the rule says you should divide the coefficient of x and square it and add to both sides. So it will now be x squared minus what? 4x. Half of 4 is minus 2. Are we okay? Plus. You are adding it to this side now. Plus what? Minus 2 or what? Minus 2. That's the rule. Minus 2. Then square is equal to minus 4 plus minus 2 all squared. Don't get confused. Second rule. I say naturally, God has made it happen for us. Okay? We didn't bother for the first rule because the equation of x squared is already what? In unity. It's 1. So we'll go to the second step. What's the equation of what? Minus 4. The equation of the equation of x is minus 4. The second rule says, look at the equation of x. After you have determined the equation of x squared being unity naturally, go for the second step, which says okay. sorry, because we're using the digital listing, the battery is going down. I'll put it on the board. So the first, the second step says, let the coefficient of what? The coefficient of x is what? Minus what? 4. Divided by 2. When you divide by 2, what do you have? Minus 4 divided by 2 is what? Minus 2. 2 of what? Add it to both sides. Square it. Square that minus 2. Young man, are you looking? Square that minus 2. Add it to both sides. Minus 2, which is the half of the coefficient of x. You square it. When you square it, you add it to both sides. You know, I've created left hand side and the right hand side by taking this 4 to the right hand side. So this minus 4 plus that minus 2, you square, you add to both sides. So c minus 2 square on the left hand side, c minus 2 square on the right hand side. Are you okay with that? Yes, so now you evaluate this. It should now be what? Minus 4 plus what? 4. Because minus 2 times minus 2 is 4. Minus 4 plus this. It should now be what? 0. 2 of us. Let's go to the right hand side, the left hand side. You have x squared minus 4x plus, watch, plus what? Plus into what? Minus 2 all squared is equal to what? 0. Are we right? Okay. So, okay. So are you okay with this now? The right hand side is 0, and left hand side will have this. Put this in your memory right now. It's not a magic, but see, it's a code I'll give you. Use it and pass it to your generation. See, when you have a problem like this mathematics, people get very difficult. They get very difficult to evaluate this. See the code. Watch. Are you watching me? You know x is squared. Minus 2 is also what? Since they are carrying square, take one of this. That's the secret. One of this x. And do what? And do plus. And take one of this minus 2. Bracket all of them, all square, equal to 0. Do you understand these secrets? If you go back to this, you will come back to this equation. We are going to verify that, okay? What did I say? If you have similar equation, you have s squared, you okay? Minus 4x plus minus this into, okay? Yeah. So I said take one of this, because that carries square. Are you getting me? This what? Plus. Yeah, this plus. So you have, I said, since they are carrying x, take one of this. And take one of this. I've taken one of it as x plus. Okay? Then minus 2. Then bracket all of them and equate it to 0. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So having done that, you now have what? What do you have here now? If you open up, you have x minus what? X minus 2 all squared equal to what? 0. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
So you have s squared, s minus 2 all what? Squared equal to what? 0. Are we right?
Yes, sir.
So I want to give you something like this. If you have s squared is equal to 4, what's x? What's the value of x? The value of x will be plus or minus the square root of 4. Right? Which is the square root of 4, s is equal to what? Plus or minus 2. 2 of us? Okay. Now if you follow the same pattern, same logic pattern, the logical pattern, the same way you use to address this value, if you use it the same way, which implies that x minus 2 will be this plus or minus the square root of what? 0. Are we not right? I'll remove the square on top here and introduce plus or minus the square root because I want to get the value of x minus 2. So from here, which implies that x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of this what? What's the square root of 0 is 0. So x minus 2 is equal equal to what? Is what? X is x minus 2. Sorry. So you now have x minus 2 equal to the plus or minus square root of 0, which implies that x minus, okay, I want to like, here, this minus 2 will cross over here. This is what I'm doing. I started from here. I want to remove the square, x minus 2, all bracket squared, right? Is equal to 0, right? Do you get it? So that means if you want to remove the square, the one on the right hand side, you put a square root sign. I use this to illustrate that. Okay? So having done that, it will now be x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of what? 0. I remove this square here. So that means x is equal to this minus 2 come over this side. It will now be x it will now be x, watch, x is equal to 2 plus or minus, what is the square root of 0? 0. That means x is equal to 2 plus 0, or x is equal to 2 minus 0. And 2 plus 0 is what? X equal to what? 2 plus 0 is what? 2. And 2 minus 0 is also what? 2. X equal to 2. Are we not arriving at the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Do you understand? We arrive at the same what? Answer. Any of the 4 methods you use, you get the same what? Answer is 2. So this particular method is called completing what? The square. Is this the same method is what they use to formulate what? To get what? Almighty formula. You see that almighty formula, or called general formula? Get the general formula, everybody. You can call it almighty formula or general formula. They use for completing the square method to derive that equation, that formula. Okay? From, let me just tell you, because of time, we are going to go into another topic in further mathematics. Matrices is an interesting topic, and I will tell you its application to solving real life problems. Okay? If you don't understand, ask question. See, you copied it, right? Yes. Ask question, please. Yeah, ask question. Ask question. Ask question. Young man, you're not smiling. What's the problem? Are you getting me? Okay. So what I'm saying, what I'm about telling you is that I made mention of using completing the square to derive what? Almighty formula. You know, we have a problem. I said a squared plus bx plus c equal to what? 0. Okay? This is a quadratic equation form. Okay? So if we start using completing the square on this, you end up getting what? Minus b plus or minus the square root of what? B squared minus 4ac all over what? 2a. Okay? If you use completing the square on this very equation now, you will arrive at this. Just like we used completing the square to solve x squared plus minus 4x plus 4 equal to 0. We got our solution as what? 2. The same way, if you use that completing square to solve this quadratic equation, this equation that have ax squared plus bs, you know, it's not carrying numbers, but it's carrying a, b, c. Okay? And a and b are coefficients of x squared and x. So when you finish with it, you try to get the solution of this. Solution of this using completing square, and then you get this formula. That is the general formula. That's how you derive. I can ask you in JAM or IGCSE or in WEG, they can ask you using completing the square method, use it to derive the general formula. Use completing the square method in solving this equation, deriving what? The general formula. It could be a whole question. You know, in IGCSE, you talk about application. IGCSE is different from, that's the British curriculum. IGCSE is not like your mathematics. In Nigerian, it's the same, but we're like, our one is more or less theory, you know, but IGCSE is more or less what's practical. Transitional mathematics. Application. All application of mathematics, that's IGCSE mathematics. Okay? But same topic, the same solution if you get it right. So thank you, class. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Any question, 1 or 2 minutes again, we'll now come for further matrices. I'll give you a break. Those of you that are offering further maths, you wait to go for further math class. Okay? So ask question. You got it all right? Are you sure? You can get it. You must say something.
Sir, I don't know the method.
Yeah?
Which one is the best practice?
Yeah, he'll ask a good question. You must say something in my classroom. You must say something. Yeah?
Yeah, I was asking that among all the method you listed,
Yeah.
I was asking which one is the best method?
The best methods
Yes.
to solving this.
Quadratic equation.
Yeah, all of them are okay, but to me personally, I would like I prefer computing the square to other methods, to all other methods. Yeah. I prefer that to that. People might think it's tedious, but it's interesting. Just obey the rules, okay? Obey the rules. You do something others are not doing. Others might be like very simple, you know, but this one is unique. Because if you don't understand the rules, you won't get it right. Okay, but if you can solve it very well, that means you are strong. Then you understood quadratic problem related to quadratic, offering solution to that. Okay? Any other question? Any other question? So, are you okay? Young lady, are you okay? Okay. So, we'll go for a break. Those of you offering further maths will come back for that. Matrices, that's the topic. Matrices. So when matrices, I know most of you are out doing further maths. You're offering further maths. I'll allow you to go now. So you have a break. You have your time. You eat and you come back. We have types of matrices. Okay? We have types of matrices. Row matrix, column matrix, and what's the matrix? You have to define, in mathematics, if you're a good mathematician, you have to define the entity first, the topic, before you start talking about other things and its application. Matrix is just like it's an array of rectangular array of numbers putting numbers in a rectangular form, you know, rows and column enclosed in a bracket. Okay? Just like we'll come back to that, you know, when you do like this, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the kind of matrix. This is a matrix. It's a 3 by 3 matrix. How do you get the name? 3 by 3 means row and what? Column. For you to mention a name, get the name of a matrix. You talk about the row and what? Column. Rows and column. We have types of matrix, unit matrix. You have an equal matrix. You have zero matrix. Matrix is plural. Matrix is what? Singular. Okay. Matrix is singular. Matrix is plural. You have zero. You have a column matrix. You have all that. Okay. Then after, I'm just trying to brief you guys on what we're going to do next after a break. So after that, the names, how you can name a matrix. Types of matrices. Then how you name a matrix 2 by 3, 4, 3 by 3, you know, 3 by 2 is the matter of the row first. The number of rows. Row is the row, we mean is this row. That's the horizontal, and the vertical is what? Column. Okay? Column. Row. R-O-W. Column. C-O, spelled as C-O-U-M-N. Alright? Yeah, column. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. That's the vertical axis. So when you know the row, the number of rows and the column, you can name a matrix. After that, you talk about addition and subtraction of what? Matrices. And multiplication of matrices. Okay? And there's something I want to tell you about matrices when we come back. Multiplying a matrix. When two matrices are said to be conformable for multiplication, when do you think you can multiply two matrices? It's the code. This is the code. Multiplying two matrices is when the column of the first matrix, the number of columns of the first matrix. Listen, naming a matrix is row and what? Column. That's how you can get the name of the matrix. But when you are multiplying two matrices, is what? Yeah, is the number of what? The number of column of the first matrix should be equal to the number of what? Row of the what? Second matrix. Okay? Number of column of the first matrix should be equal to the number of row of the what? Second matrix. Okay? That's when they are conformable for what? Multiplication. So after that, you talk about determinant. We're almost closing. Determinant of matrices. After determinant of matrices, I'll show you how to do that. Then we'll talk about cofactor matrix. I'll show you how to get cofactor, and after cofactor, you do transpose of the cofactor. Transpose of the cofactor is called an adjoint. Transpose means interchange. The one on the row becomes the one on the what? On the column. You interchange. After that, you talk about inverse matrix. When you've gotten the cofactor matrix and you interchange it, become the adjoint. You divide it by the determinant of that matrix. That gives you the inverse of the matrix. That's all. We're going to do it as we come back for break. Thank you.